Yeah. What's happening, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a great day today. Welcome to the podcast, episode 4. Episode 4. And today is going to be kind of interesting on some of the things that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about married older men, as in like myself, probably men that are in their 40s would be my guess, maybe a little older. Younger guys, you can't ask them shit because they'll tell me that I'm crazy and I'm wrong. But when you get to be my age or you get into that realm, I promise you, your views will change. 100% it'll change. The other topic we're going to talk about today is fart cars and how stupid they are today. And I'm going to let you know what a fart car is, so that way you'll know what it is. And you probably know what it is if you're an older individual, but if not, I'm going to tell you what a fart car is. And then the last but not least is basically, we're all getting old. And I'm 54 and about to be 55, and I can promise you one thing. Getting old sucks, but I can tell you what. I would not want to be young in today's world, and I'll explain why. All right, and then on to the podcast, why married men really don't want young, hot girls, all right? I didn't get to that in the very beginning, but that's what it's basically about. The internet, everything is so social these days that all you see are these girls that, they're in their thong bikinis and their ass cheeks are sticking out and they're wearing their ass pants. If you don't know what ass pants are, those are those pants. I give my wife a hard time all the time. I call them ass pants. And most girls say, well, we wear them because they're so comfortable. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Ass pants are those pants that you see like if you go to the gym or a girl that's, at Walmart shopping or getting groceries or whatever she's doing. And there's the pants that just hug their vag, their ass. It goes right up their crack. It shows every nook and cranny that's on there. Call them ass pants because that's really what they are. They're fucking ass pants. And they'll tell you they don't wear them for guys to look at them. They wear them because they're so comfortable. Horse shit. There's no way that you're wearing those. I believe they probably are comfortable, but make no mistake. If you've got a nice looking butt and you've got a pretty decent looking butt, you're wearing that shit because you want somebody to look at you. You literally want somebody to look at you. And it's hard not to look. I mean, it's really, really hard. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There are a lot of beautiful, pretty women out there. And I'm not knocking them. But don't make no horse shit up saying that you're wearing those because you're only wearing them because they're comfortable. And that they fit right. And they feel so good. It's a crock. I'm not buying that shit. You want people to look at you. And I get it. I get you. Because I look. I look. And I know that you probably look too. And if you don't, you're one of a couple things. Either you're messed up in the head or you're gay. It's one or the other. Or you're just I don't know. Maybe your girl is just all that, and you have absolutely no desire. But it doesn't mean I want to be with that girl. I'm just telling you because I'm going to get into it in just a second. But that's what they do. And what I mean by that is like young guys, all they can focus on is how many girls can they get and how many girls they can sleep with. That's all they talk about is, I was with this girl last night, man. I just banged her up hardcore, man, and whatever, But old guys, you don't hear that. In our circle, you don't hear that. And like maybe 40 and up would be my guess in that range. You just don't see it. And the reason being is because usually if you're in your 40s, you've if you haven't, you should have your shit together, at least somewhat, a little bit. Whereas today's society with the younger generation, they'll just sit around and it's, there's a magic tree that's going to just make everything fall and everybody's going to be the next, PewDiePie and all those guys and make their millions on YouTube and they're going to do their Insta and all this other crap to make their money. And all they care about is really not going to work. But that is what I'm getting at is your older men. And hopefully you can agree with me. And maybe you don't. If you don't, comment and tell me that you don't agree with me. But I can tell you right now that, I've been married for 30 years. All right. Married for I've been with the same girl for 30 years. Married for 25. And then we dated for 5 years. The reason I dated for 5 years, because I want to make sure that was the girl I truly wanted to be with. Okay? I'm not blind. I see other women. There are pretty women out there, but I can promise you, those girls that are really, really, they kind of have that model look to them. And my wife is very beautiful. But at the end of it, women get older, they get smarter, and they get, a little more, they get their shit together, I do understand that they mature faster than men, but at the end of it all, those young girls that are hot, I'm telling you, that is a nightmare for a man like me. It's a nightmare. And I've had girls actually kind of flirt and hit on me, and I have no desire, none. All that is a money train and a misery train. And I can tell you right now, it would be absolutely awful to try to get out into the dating game today if you're basically looking and you're just seeing these girls on Instagram and Facebook and all these other different platforms and going, God, man, if I could, if I just had that younger girl, man, to just bring that spark back into my world. It's not. It's not going to bring a spark back. It's going to be fun for like 6 months, and then you're going to realize you've made an absolutely horrid mistake. You're going to be basically spending way more money than you've ever spent in a long time. And when you're all said and done, you're going to wish that you had that old girl back that you had been with for a while. I can promise you. And if you are older and you aren't married and you are in your 40s or your 50s, I promise you, find a woman that is more your age. You're going to be happier, and she's going to treat you right, and she's not going to be some crazy whack job, and she's going to have her shit wired up. But I'm just telling you, just because they're hot doesn't mean that an older guy wants them. I look at girls all the time, and there are a lot of hot girls. But I can tell you this, I don't want any of them. They're nice to look at. They're like a sports car. You know what? I love to look at Corvettes. I love to look at Ferraris. I love to look at Lamborghinis. I don't want to fucking own one. And the reason I don't is because all it is a fucking money pit. It's literally a money pit. You're going to drive it, and it's going to be, best car in the fucking world, man. It's awesome. And then at the end of the day, you're going to drive it for 6 months. It's going to sit in your driveway or sit in your garage. You're going to wipe it down with a towel. You're not going to drive it. You're not going to do crap with it. And then what you do is you have a really, really expensive trophy car, just like a girl, that you never drive. You never do anything, and all it does is suck money out of your wallet. That's why we have no desire for the younger, hotter women. It's just a pain in our ass. On to the next topic. Fart cars. What is a fart car? A fart car basically are those cars that you see that have the big giant fins in the back. They're like the little Nissan Sentras or the little RX-7s or whatever they are. And I'm sure I'm getting it all wrong, and I don't really care. It doesn't bother me one bit. But I think that's absolutely hilarious is because it was such a big fad when the Fast and the Fart cars came out, or the Fast and the Furious. All those cars, there were only a couple of cars in there that were real actual muscle, like Detroit muscle, real true horsepower, not no fake nitrous shit, none of that dumb crap, and I had friends that had the cars, man, I'm pushing 8, 9, 1100 to the back wheels, man, I hit that nitrous, bro, and man, I'll beat any car. I'm like, dude, it's all fake shit, it's fake horsepower, it's not real. NASCAR is real horsepower. 220 miles, and they're restrictor plates. And the reason they're restrictor plates is because they can go way faster than what you see on television. If you've never been to a NASCAR race, them sumbitches are fast, okay? You want real horsepower? Go hit a dragster, all right? That's real horsepower, or a funny car. You know what I'm saying? None of this nitrous, fake horsepower where you're pumping everything up so that you have this car that can go whatever. Build something. You're just putting an add-on on. And all it's doing is that nitrous and stuff that you're putting in there is jacking that motor up. It's pushing it way more than it's actually capable of doing. It's not meant to do that, and you're just jacking it up. Best part of it. Reason why do I call them a fart car? You ever looked at those stupid-ass things? If you look in the back of them, they have like giant fins on them so like they don't fly off into outer space, man. They look so stupid. And then you look at the very back and the bottom, they got those huge mufflers. I mean, they are monster. They are massive monster mufflers. So when they pass you, they literally sound like a big old fart. I mean, and then they rev them up, and it's so damn funny. And they were everywhere, just like those white kids in those lowrider trucks that they did for I don't know how many years. But I don't want to talk about that. Talk about the fart cars. And they're kind of still around. I see them here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and it is absolutely hilarious. I'm like, dude, the Fast and the Furious is on like version like 20 or something. I don't know what it is, man. It's and then only that it's a fast and a fart car. It's like they had a budget, and the budget was really, really cheap. Like they was like, you know what? I got $500, and I'm gonna make a fast and the fart car. And the mufflers, they sound like shit. You know, they don't have mommy's and daddy's money, you know, pumping into those things to where they were getting what they were wanting. But it's absolutely hilarious. And I don't know if you've seen those or if you even remember that type of stuff. It was the funniest damn thing. And that's what me and my buddies called him. We was like, oh, shit, here comes another fart car. Because you can just hear him coming. It sounds like some guy just went to Taco Bell and just rolled down the window and just let it rip. I mean, it is absolutely horrid. And the cars look stupid. The wheels are all basically panned out. You know, they're basically kind of chamfered a little bit to where they're pushing outwards. That cannot be good on the rear suspension or the front suspension. And they're all lowered down. They have those giant spoilers in the back. And then they have, like, some of them have spoilers in the front. And then they have all these like decorative things on there. You know, like they decorated them all up to make them look like it's like they bedazzled them, you know. Really, really funny. But tell me what you think about fart cars, because I truly think, I mean, it's just let it die. Just let it go. Let it go. They're stupid. I can't stand them. They're dumb. Now, getting old, but I don't want to be young in today's society. Like I said, I'm going to be 55 this year, and I don't mind getting old. I mean, I really don't. Getting old is not a bad thing, I don't think. You know, I've had a pretty interesting life. You know, I've done a lot of things. I got a lot of stories, and I'm going to share a lot of my stupid stories because, well, some of them are stupid because I did a lot of stupid shit because I was young and I grew up in, you know, in the very late 70s and all the 80s. You know, that was my stomping time. And, we did a lot of really, really stupid shit. And if you grew up in that time frame, you can relate. I promise you, you can relate to what I'm talking about. Because, like I said, no cell phones, none of that stuff. That's whole other topics. That's a whole other deal. But getting old, it does suck because doing some of the things that I did when I was younger, I used to love to skateboard, okay? I lived in Florida, or I grew up in Florida. I'm originally from Oklahoma. My mom had to get away from my dad. So we moved to Florida. That's where my grandfather lived. He was in the Air Force. And he came and basically helped us pack up all of our shit and helped us move all the way to Florida. Well, anyway, growing up there with, as through most of the mid part of my childhood, from 9 until I was 20, about 2021, there was, we had the beaches. We had the ocean. I lived in Santa Rosa Beach. And skateboarded, half pipes, street skating, surfing, what little you can do on the Gulf Coast. But yeah, I did a lot of dumb things, and I mean, I jacked up my knees because, before they had knee pads, you had your knees. And when you're a kid, man, you're just like a rubber band. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you're a guy. Just like riding motorcycles. I mean, I rode a lot of motorcycles, did a lot of trips on them and stuff, and when you're a kid, man, you're invincible. You feel like you can just do anything. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Even when you just beat the living crap out of yourself, you get back up, you're sore for like a day, and then you're back off to the races. Now, when that happens, there are no races. It's a doctor's visit. It's a shot or stitches. Could be that you're in a sling. It could be that you're in anything. You can be in all sorts of stuff nowadays. You know what I'm saying? A cast, the whole 9 yards. But I will say, with today's society, it's scary, man. It's scary, And my kids are here. My kids are growing up through this, and it worries me. Even my youngest son, I told him that I was going to talk about this. And even he looked at me and said, you know what, Dad, you're right. I mean, it's pretty weird in today's deal. There's a lot of weird shit that goes on. And, he's going to school to be an engineer. And but he gets it. He 100% gets it. And he's just to the point, he's like, Dad, he goes, yeah, it's pretty crazy out there. Just the mindset that's going on with today's kids. And the things that are going on, some stuff he agrees with, but a lot of it he totally disagrees with. He's very down to earth. Both of my kids are pretty down to earth, and I'm not trying to pump them up. They've just been around me, and I'm trying to, put as much of my world into them because I want them to have a little bit of the old school. If you can relate to that, I want them to have a little bit of manners and a little bit of respect, and I want them to earn their respect just because of who they are. And I don't want them to go out and just read a book, and because they read a book, or they have Google at their fingertips, makes them smart. That doesn't make you smart. It really doesn't. It does not make you smart. It just means that you have something that you can basically regurgitate back to somebody else, and you think that you're smart. And then you come out and you start running all these big words and all these different types of things. And I can't do like that. I mean, I'm a street smart kind of guy. That's how I roll. And, there's a difference between book smarts and street smarts. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you're in my era, if you're in that Gen X world, where you grew up in the 80s and that was your time frame of growing up, I can tell you without a doubt that you don't agree with a lot of the shit that's going on, especially in the news and everything else that's going on. It's pretty crazy. It's really pretty crazy. And it didn't just start. This shit's been going on for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's been going on for a while. From the slang to the what's being taught to our kids and to just every day. It's terrifying a little bit, So I'm trying to do my best to pump as much as I possibly can of. I don't want them. They can't live in our generation. They can't live in the 80s. They can't feel what that was like. But I can tell them what it's like, and hopefully they can grasp that circle of what we did and relate it to their circle, and maybe hopefully they can pass it on to their kids one day, so that that they'll have that little bit of ammo in their gun, so that they can actually be not only a better person but better to other people, and not sit there and just always jump to the stupid ass conclusions that happen all the time in today's society. Oh shit! What the fuck news? This was on Fox News the other day, and I know it's real because I looked it up. And it's really hilarious. Basically, you're hearing about all these deportations and all these things that are going on right now. The reason I have, what the fuck news is because it's really funny, because I hear these things, and it's like, it's kind of weird. It's like, man, who comes up with this stuff? But anyway, Florida is coming up with a new prison for detainees out there, and it's basically I don't know the actual name. I just know that they kind of called it Gator Prison. And if you don't know what that is, there's this big 20-plus square mile piece of land in South Florida that, I mean, no shit, 20-plus square miles that has like a landing strip on it, a little bit of stuff, and it's got a road to get to it. But it's really, really funny because they're thinking about turning that into a detaining area for the illegals before they're deported out of the United States, which I'm very happy that they're deporting people. And I'm not buying into all this dumb shit news today saying that they're just grabbing all these people that are U.S. citizens and they're just sending them out and they have no rights. Dig deeper, be smarter, and quit listening to the fucking news, because that shit's stupid. Anyway, basically, it's in the middle of nowhere. There's literally nothing out there. There's a landing strip with some concrete, some grass, and all this type of stuff. But they were talking about it, and they were showing the area and stuff. And I mean, literally, it's 20-plus miles in any direction. Outside of that little basic island, you could either go down this one road that is surrounded by it, which there's no way around it. There's nothing but alligators and pythons. So their thought is, you can't escape it. Now, I'm not saying you can't. Nothing is unescapable. But what I am saying is that, boy, I tell you what, it'd be interesting to see if somebody would try. There are some big gators in Florida. That's all I got to say. And this is down towards the Everglades area. It's not super deep in that area. That's why they have airboats, or the fan boats, of what you've heard of. And I can tell you right now, man, some of those pythons are freaking huge, and the gators are massive out there. And in the area that they're at, they said that they are everywhere. You can't go anywhere without seeing basically an alligator within basically X amount of, yards. So that would be very interesting if they actually built that. And it basically, they said if you tried to escape, you would be found within an hour. That's how bad it is. Because if you've ever been down to the Everglades or the marshlands, it's really shitty. It's not nice. The bugs, everything, it's horrible. Not only that, you got gators and pythons. So if you get deported over to there before you're shipped out of the United States, sucks to be you. That's it. Have a great day. I'm out.